Another star has been pulled from AEW Forbidden Door. Plus, a classic TNA match is returning to Impact next month, and a new NXT Champion was crowned at an NXT event last night. It's all in the wrestling news right now. The Forbidden Door continues to be snake bit. Maybe they should have left it shut. This comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling this morning. Tomohiro Ishii, who was scheduled to compete for the All-Atlantic Championship on Sunday, has sustained a left knee injury and is not medically cleared to compete. We apologize to fans who were looking forward to seeing Ishii wrestle, and we appreciate your understanding. After a hard-fought qualifying match at Korakuen Hall on June 21st, Clark Connors will take Ishii's place in the All-Atlantic title four-way at Forbidden Door. Great shout for Clark Connors.
Yeah.
Gutted for Ishii.
Absolutely. It's another one of the big names, right, that's been taken off the card that isn't there. And that's what I think a lot of people are kind of disappointed in, is the lack of big names. Obviously now we've got Okada in there as well. Okada, Tanahashi, and like Suzuki's there too, but poor Ishii. Clark Connors though, as you were saying, fantastic shout, really improved. I remember watching some New Japan Strong sort of late last year, 2021 December, and he was good. It was still a young lion at that point, still had his black trunks and everything on, and that match against Ishii, the qualifying match to get to the All-Atlantic Championship final, so good. He was bouncing him across the ring, lifting him over his head and everything. Like, he was genuinely very good and has shown a lot of progression. Again, I think it's going to be a surprise when people see him, and I'm very excited for people to see him because I think he only started in 2017 as well. Trained by Lance Storm too, which is very cool. So he's got all the striking ability, all the submission stuff. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, but you can't help but just feel disappointed, can you? You can't help but feel a little bit disappointed. But hopefully, Ishii, we get him in the future. Hopefully this is an annual thing. We get him back next year, and hopefully he's all right as well. That's the main thing. Hopefully he's okay.
Another guy who's hoping this becomes an annual affair is Kenny Omega. So he's done his first interview in about 7 months with Fightful, talking about how his original hope was to be ready for this weekend for Forbidden Door. However, he insists he will not be there. He wanted to be in some way, shape or form part of the show. Like, even if he wasn't wrestling, even if he just turned up and went, "Hello, remember me?
Hello.
I'm the one that held your baby's eyes." However, he claimed that he didn't want to be there without an appearance leading to something else, because he's really not in a position yet to make any sort of comeback. So he's just said, look, I'm just going to park it for now, and I'm going to be watching and having a lovely time watching.
Which is fair enough. I was thinking, however, if they do make this an annual thing, I guess it's not been confirmed yet whether they will do or not. I was hoping that maybe at the end of the IWGP heavyweight title match, Jay White, hopefully, we'll see, Jay White wins, and then Kenny Omega comes out, because there's a lot of beef between those big boys, and I think we kind of expected to have some sort of confrontation between Kenny Omega and Jay White, I think, too, because they've got a lot of history in New Japan as well. But unfortunately, it seems not to be.
He's very much saying that will not be the case on this occasion. So we'll keep an eye, fingers crossed for a fully fledged return for Kenny Omega as soon as he's healthy, really.
Yeah,
as soon as he's healthy.
Absolutely.
A fully fledged return for a TNA gimmick match. Next month, we had the Queen of the Mountain imbuing the spirit of the King of the Mountain at Slammiversary. We had the Reverse Battle Royal. We also had the Monsters Ball match. What other classic TNA matches returning next month, Andrew, for Impact against all odds?
It's the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Again with Sami Callihan and Moose. They keep bringing back these lovely old matches, They're
star-crossed lovers that keep finding each other in classic romantic settings.
Yeah.
So this was a match that was mused by Sami Callihan on Impact last night to sort of finish off their rivalry once and for all in a real old school manner. It kind of, do you know what? This is a weird sort of jumbled up bit of stuff for Moose. Because I remember when Moose was TNA champion.
Yeah.
I feel like this should have been what Moose was doing as TNA champion. I mean, it was kind of cut short because of pandemic and stuff. We had to rethink a lot of things. But I feel like Moose as TNA champion should have been challenging people and throwing out challenges for these classic gimmick matches, the Monster Ghostbusters Ball.
That would have been
the
awesome.
Clockwork Orange
That would
House
have
of
been
Fun.
really good.
What is a Clockwork Orange House of Fun? I hear you ask somebody who doesn't remember TNA from 2003. It's fine. Now, this is a match that was created for Raven in TNA in 2003. It has been at other promotions as well. Normally, it's sort of a hardcore no disqualification, sort of falls sometimes count anywhere type affair with specialist weapons.
Yeah.
Sometimes a steel cage is involved. It's a very loose and fast stipulation. Raven had one with CM Punk, which was in a steel cage.
So good. I think I remember this correctly. I even think there was a kitchen sink in there at some point as well.
It had everything but the kitchen sink, and then it had the kitchen. Raven took on Sandman in TNA in one that featured a panel of steel cage. If I remember correctly, it had chains around the ring with weird weapons hanging off them, and Kevin Sullivan was referee.
Yeah,
but he didn't have a ref shirt. He had his top off, and he painted black stripes down himself.
Of course he did.
So I'm hoping that happens again. And then there was a 6-man one, I remember, with Kazarian and Chris Harris and Rhino and James Storm and Robert Roode and Raven. There's been quite a few.
Yeah.
Other promotions as well, as we say. But it's making a comeback.
Again, we keep saying this, and I think it's always me and you on the news when one of these matches gets announced again. It's always nice to see them calling back to the bygone era of TNA wrestling. So this is really cool to see.
I'll tell you what else we keep saying.
Go on.
We're about to give you some spoilers for NXT UK. Now, you may be somebody that wants to watch it in the order that it's meant to be in, and doesn't want silly old wrestling aggregator alligators like us snapping away all the juicy goss. So if that is you, awesome. I admire your wherewithal. And this is the end of the news video for you. Reactions to AEW New Japan Forbidden Door on Sunday. We look forward to seeing you for those. Keys.
Love you, bye.
New NXT UK Heritage Cup champion, I guess. Winner?
Yeah.
Winner of the cup, champion of the cup?
Yeah.
Either way, Mark Coffey from off of Gallus. Hey!
Yes.
Defeating Noam Dar to win the Heritage Cup. Now, you are, like somebody that very much buys into NXT UK, it, as an underrated product. Your thoughts on the whole Heritage Cup thing?
Love it.
Yeah?
I think it's a very nice kind of callback to old school wrestling with the round system and everything. I really, really enjoy that a lot. And I think it adds a really interesting dynamic to wrestling too. Obviously, there's the argument that perhaps it just plays out like a regular wrestling match in terms of things start off slower and then things pick up the pace towards the end. But I think the time limit just adds that extra caveat that makes it kind of like, oh, is this person gonna get the pinfall at the right time and whatnot? Like I really enjoy it, and the rounds always tend to be sort of diverse as well. Like I said, they'll start off slow, but then they'll absolutely like pick it up, and it's incredible to see what wrestlers can do within a certain time limit as well. I always find that really fascinating. Like, how do you manage to do all that in that small amount of time?
Yeah. It's a very nice. It's a nice throwback to days of yore. It's nice to throwback, or days of mine, really. I'm old. There's like a nice little world of sport tip of the hat as well, which I always enjoy. So Mark Coffey, though, beating Noam Dar. Interesting, because from those tapings, we're talking about the tapings now, in case you haven't guessed, because Mark Coffey wins the Heritage Cup. Wolfgang challenges Ilya Dragunov for the NXT UK Championship. I don't know whether, and there was stuff about whether Joe Coffey will come back. I feel like they're planning something with Gallus, maybe.
Could be just a huge dominant reign for Gallus on NXT UK.
Potentially Gallus doing all the things. Next month, there'll be another set of NXT UK tapings. Basically, they do 2 days and they'll get like a month worth in the can.
Yeah.
They'll be doing more next month, and I believe tickets are free for next month as well.
Ooh.
And if you go to cultaholic.com, there are details on how to get hold of NXT UK tickets there, and the latest wrestling news throughout the day as well. That'll be us done. Keys.
Love you, bye.